Hello again, Creating Calm Tribe. Christy here for our third yoga class together. Today's yoga class is going to be focusing on overwhelm. So I am excited for this one because I think a lot of us tend to feel this way. One thing to keep in mind today is that on our inhales, I want you to imagine you're gathering all that overwhelms you right into your belly, and then exhale, release all of that out of your belly. Okay, so we'll get a little more into that later, but that's one thing I want you to think of today is that on every exhale, you're just breathing out everything extra, everything overwhelming is coming out of your body. And on your inhale, you're really gathering up. It's like a balloon of all that overwhelms you. And then you exhale, deflate all of that out of there. Okay, so whenever you're ready, make your way to a comfortable seat, and we'll start with our tune in, our breathing. Again, you can sit however is comfortable for you. Legs in any position. Hands can be either in your lap, palms face up, or on your knees, palms face up. Breathe your natural breath without making any changes just yet. Close your eyes and release any previous happenings of the day. Allow yourself to be in this moment, here and now. If you have trouble with wandering thoughts during our tune-ins, one thing you can do is count your breaths. You can count how long they take to inhale and exhale, or you can count each inhale and each exhale. Or bringing your attention to the breath will also help. Feel your breath enter in through your nostrils and slide down the back of your throat, down into the pathways of your lungs. Allow yourself to let go of any to-do list, of anything that's happened thus far. For a few of those 4-4-4-4 breaths, so flow, water breath. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try for 3 more on your own. And final time, inhale, 2, 3, and 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Good. Now we're going to bring in that balloon breath I was telling you about, or majority of the time called 3-part breath. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my belly, and I'll sit on my knees. This can be done in any standing or seated position, lying down, whatever feels comfortable for you. So if you bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest, this is really just going to help you feel and sense in. So first thing I want you to do is imagine breathing very deep into your belly. So your belly is going to expand outward, and then your ribs start to expand out to the sides as you fill up your rib cage. Good, and then you continue filling all the way up, and your chest is going to lift up higher. Great. And now on your exhale, you're going to exhale out chest, ribs, then your belly button goes towards your spine. Good. Inhale, fill all the way up. Belly, ribs, and chest. Then exhale, chest, ribs, belly button back to your spine. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Now on your next inhale, imagine you're gathering, you're filling this balloon all the way up with anything overwhelming, work stress, kids, family, chores. Exhale it all out. Inhale, overwhelm. Exhale, breathe it out. Good. So fill your balloon all the way up with those things that overwhelm you, and then deflate it, get rid of it, send it out into space. And if you're not into the visualizations, that's okay. Just breathing fully in and fully out is a huge benefit. Continue breathing that 3-part breath, all the way up, belly, ribs, and chest. Two more nice deep breaths. Really filling up anything that overwhelms you. And releasing it on your exhale, last breath. Belly button to your spine, press all the air out. And then gently release your hands down to your knees. Good. Now you're going to warm up your neck a little bit, so I want you to tilt your chin down, look at the ground, and then inhale up to the ceiling. Exhale down. Inhale, look up. Exhale down. Inhale up. 2 more times, and then you'll hold. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Then exhale down and hold your head down. Allow your head to hang heavy. Feel the weight of your head stretch the back of your neck. Your spine is still nice and tall. And breathe with your head hang heavy. Good. And then your next inhale, lift your head up to the ceiling and hold. Feel the stretch in the front of your throat now. One more breath, and then you come back to center. Back to center. Good. You're going to inhale, lengthen spine and neck. Then exhale, drop your right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. One more time. And then you'll hold. Inhale to center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder, and hold. Stay right here. Or option to take your left hand, palm face towards the mat, and energetically press your hand down towards the mat. This is going to create a little deeper stretch in the neck. As you can see, I'm not touching the floor with my hand, but I'm pressing strongly through the heel of my hand. Good. Inhale, center. Release your left hand. Exhale, left ear, left side. And if that felt good on the other side, take your palm flat towards the mat and really press into your heel. Reach your hand towards the mat. Feel the stretch on the side of the neck. Good. One more breath. And then inhale, center. Good. Now take some full neck circles all the way around. Two more circles in this direction. And now you'll reverse directions, opposite way. And two more circles. And you'll make your way back to center. Good. And now you're going to rock yourself into a tabletop position. So your knees are directly underneath your hips, wrists under shoulders. Good for some cow cats. So good for your spine. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail. Exhale, round your spine. Begin the movement at your tailbone. Elbow pits to the front of the room. Two more breaths in your downward dog. Uncurl your tail. Inhale, drop your belly, lift the chin. Exhale, round your tail back up all the way till chin meets chest. Final one. And then back to center. And neutral spine. Good. Now you're going to bring your right leg long behind you, left arm out ahead of you, and really reach for opposite walls. Reach, reach, reach. Feel that energy from fingertip to toe tip. One more breath. And return to tabletop position. Good. Now you're going to take your left leg long out ahead of you, right arm out. Really reach for opposite walls. Feel that long line of energy all the way running through. One more breath. And then back to center. Good. Now your right leg goes long behind you, left arm out ahead of you, and we're going to turn on your abdomen now. Really fire up your core first, and then you're going to bring elbow to knee. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. We're going to go 5 times. 3 more. 2. And 1 more. Elongate and then back to tabletop. Good. Now your left leg long behind you, right arm out ahead of you. Really firm in, tighten up your core, and then elbow to knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Elongate, and then back to your tabletop position. Good. Now we're going to try and see if we can make that a little more challenging. So next, you're going to take your right leg long behind you, hip height, and then rise up onto your right side fingertips, so the same side as your lifted leg. Your fingertips are up on the mat. Now this is a balance challenge right here. If you can challenge yourself a little bit further, see if you can lift your right arm. Oh, and look at that. I'm I'm losing my balance today. I'm gonna turn this way so you can see really well anyways. So really firm into your core first, lift that right leg up onto your fingertips. And then when you're ready, see if you can lift your right arm. Good. Very challenging, you guys. Nice core work. If you can't quite reach your arm, just really engage your core and lift those fingertips up. Good. Now back to tabletop position, and we'll go for opposite side. So now your left leg goes long behind you. You rise up onto your left side fingertips, really firm into core. Good. And then when and if you're ready, you're going to lift your left hand. Good. Make adjustments as needed. It's a challenging pose. Don't feel bad if you're wobbly like me. Good. And then return back to tabletop position. Now you're going to tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips into your downward facing dog and pedal your dog. Good. Now stop your pedaling, melt in your downward facing dog, really press into that pose. Then bend your knees and walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. Hold your forward fold. If it feels good to sway, you can sway side to side. Maybe you like a couple head nods and shakes, yes and no's. Just finding some movement in your forward fold that feels good for you. Maybe you're bending and straightening your legs. One more breath here. Good, then inhale and halfway lift. And I really want you to reach crown of head for the opposite wall as your tail. Straightening your legs as much as you can. And a nice long flat back. Good, now exhale, fold, bend your knees as needed, and then inhale, rise to mountain, arms overhead. And then exhale, arms down by your sides. Take a breath. Good. That's really firm in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. So if feet can either be hip distance or touching, up to you. You're gonna really press those feet firmly into the mat. Feel your heels, feel the outer arches or the outer knife edge sides of your feet and your toe pads really pressing into the mat. As all of that presses in, the arches of your feet actually lift up. Good. Then you move up to your calves and you engage your calves. This is a very simple pose, but there's a lot more into it than people might think. So now your calves are nice and engaged. Good. Then you're gonna work your way up and really tighten in your kneecaps and your quads. Send your kneecaps up to your quads and your quads up to your hips. Good. Then you squeeze in your glutes. Feel the squeeze, the back body. Good. Now you're gonna tighten in your core, abdomen. Roll shoulder blades down and back. Your arms are reaching down as your crown of head reaches up. All the while your feet, legs, and core are all in one line, nice and engaged. And your neck is nice and long too. Good, let's take 3 breaths here. Good. Feel that Tadasana, mountain pose. Now inhale, arms overhead, and your palms will meet. Next, you're gonna tick-tock your body. So lean side to side about 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good, now come back to center. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, you're gonna take your hands to the low back for supported back bend. So hands come to your low back here. Good, really firm into your feet. Find that Tadasana with your legs. Your feet are firmed into the mat. Your kneecaps are lifted, your glutes are squeezed. Tighten your core, and then you're gonna lean back for a very gentle supported back bend. So we just wanna start very subtle, very minimal, okay? So we don't wanna be cranking ourselves into these poses first thing. Very nice. Then inhale back up to center. And exhale, release your arms. Now inhale, arms overhead. This time interlace your fingers except your index finger points. So it's kind of that Charlie's Angels mudra. Good. Feet together or hip distance. Nice firm stance. Then inhale, reach your arms up nice and long. And exhale, side bend and hold. In your side bend, we want to make sure your shoulder stays open. So your right side shoulder is moving backwards without allowing your left side to pop too far forward. So we want to be right in that sweet spot. Nice and open. One more breath. Then inhale up to center. Inhale, reach, and exhale, side bend, opposite side. So your neck is visible, your hips and your shoulders, your armpits are all nice and open. If you can, nice straight elbows, arms behind your ears. Good. Then inhale back up to center. And then you're gonna exhale, bring hands to low back for that supported back bend. Second set. Firm into your feet. Really find that Tadasana legs. Good, then lean back. A little more intense than last time, but still subtle. Nice and relaxing. And breathe. And maybe as you breathe, you can go a little bit deeper into your back bend, but still finding that level of comfort and challenge for you. One more breath. Then inhale back up to center. Good. Now you're gonna bring arms overhead and interlace your fingers, but this time the awkward lace. So you're gonna put the opposite finger. So usually my right finger leads and my middle right finger is next to my left index. This time I'm gonna do the opposite. Good. So then you're gonna firm into your mountain pose. Inhale, reach arms up, nice and tall. Then exhale, side bend. Good. Now once you get all that alignment, your hips and your armpits are nice and square, then you can inhale, lengthen in your spine. And exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper in your side bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, deeper. One more time, inhale and exhale. And then inhale back up to center. Reach up and exhale, side bend. And again, once you have that alignment all there, then you can inhale, reach up. Lengthen up, exhale, side bend a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend. One more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend. Now inhale up to center. And final supported back bend. Exhale, hands go to your low back. Firm into your feet. Inhale, look up. And then on your exhale, slowly bring it back to a nice supported back bend. And now if you're well versed in back bends or you're feeling really good here, then feel free to reach your hands below your seat to the creases of your knees. 2 more breaths. And then you slowly come back up to mountain pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Palms meet, then hands go to heart center. Good. Now inhale, reach arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Spend a moment in your forward fold to really release your low back. Maybe you want to sway side to side here. Maybe you take your head, a couple yes and a couple no. Good.
And then bend your knees generously, really bring chest to your thighs. And then inhale, slowly rise up.
And arms overhead. Good. Now exhale, arms down by your sides. Very nice. Now I want you to take your right foot forward and your left foot back for a warrior one. So that warrior one pose, remember your hips are to the front of the room. The outer knife edge side of your back foot's at 45-degree angle, pressed firmly into the floor. And then your front knee is a nice low lunge. Once you find all of that, arms can come up, palms touch. And just take your time. If I'm ever having you hold these poses too long, just bring the knee out of the bend, out of the lunge, and come right back into it. Or maybe it's the back, maybe bend the back knee and come right back into it. Find a way to release some of that lactic acid and come right back into the pose. Good. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, now you're going to pivot into your warrior two. So this whole time, we're really keeping in mind that balloon breath. So inhale, fill your belly. Ribs and chest, then exhale, chest, ribs and belly. When you think of it, when you get a chance, try to come back to that breath. I know that's rather challenging, but as much as you can today. Fill that balloon with all that overwhelms you, and exhale, release it all out. Good. Now you're gonna flip your right palm up to the ceiling, reach forward in order to reach back, reverse warrior. And then come back to your warrior two. Good. Now we're gonna take this to side angle pose. So your right forearm now goes to your right thigh, and your left arm can go straight up from your shoulder, or if it's available to you, frame your ear. Now in this pose, what we really like to see is a straight long line from pinky toe to pinky finger. So as you can see, I made some adjustments there to make that happen. My knee was up a little higher and I wasn't quite in that one line. So I bent my knee, and there you go. Now I'm closer to that one line, pinky toe to pinky finger. Good. Back up to warrior two now. And then you're gonna straighten your front knee, and you're gonna go into triangle pose. Reach forward first and then tip into your triangle. And now in your triangle, maybe you're here. Okay, this is okay. We'd rather you be here and nice and open shoulders, open arms and hips, than be forward folded. We don't want to be forward folded like this. Okay, this is the triangle pose. Good. Then inhale back to warrior two. And now you're gonna pivot your right feet to the front of the room. Good. And hands will go clasped behind your back. Hinge at your hips and fold forward. Feel the stretch in your shoulders, in the back of your hamstrings, back of your knees. And lengthen in your spine on your exhales. One more breath. And then hands to the low back and slowly rise. Good. Now you're going to take your toes and point both toes outwards. Your knees and toes are going to point in the same line. Then your arms come out into cactus pose. Really squeeze shoulder blades together, firm in your tight core, and then sink back. Sit down in goddess or temple pose. Good. Now if you need a little movement to sink into this pose, we'll be here for just a little bit, then feel free to do that. Maybe you need some bounces, whatever feels good. 2 more breaths. Good. Now you bring your hands down by your sides. You're going to pivot your right toe till it's at that 45-degree angle, and your left toes go to the front of the room now. So you're in that nice warrior one legs. Back foot, knife edge side is pressing firmly into the mat, 45-degree angle. Left foot pointing straight forward. Make your stance adjust as needed. Ideally, your left knee, thigh is parallel to the mat, nice 90-degree angle. Good. But more importantly than all of that is your hips to the front of the room. So really working with that. I like to bring my hands right here and just imagine I've got a spotlight shooting straight from my belly button, and I want to imagine that spotlight is going straight to the wall ahead of me. Once you find that, then you're going to bring your arms up, palms meet. Inhale, reach up. One more breath. Then exhale, warrior two. Pivot your back foot parallel to the short edge. Both arms go out, shooting straight from your shoulders, reaching for opposite walls. And your front knee is going in the same direction as your toes, nice and straight. Good. Then we'll go for that extended side angle, left forearm to your thigh, and find that side angle. Again, you can have your arms straight up, or you can bring yourself to that long line from pinky toe to pinky finger. And again, I just adjusted my hips by lowering my knee a little so that I could make that happen. Good. One more breath. Then come back to your warrior two. And now we're going for triangle pose, so you'll straighten your front knee. You're gonna reach forward first, and then tip into your triangle pose. And making sure that we're not folding. So anytime our shoulders are to the mat, then we're folding. If our shoulders are open, our hips are open, then we're side bending. So we want to side bend in our triangle pose. One more breath. Then back up to warrior two. Good. Now you're going to pivot your left foot to the front of the room. And you're going to bring both hands down to the mat this time. Hinge forward. Good. Now both hands on the mat. Take your right hand and place it on the mat right below your face. Then on your next inhale, you're going to take your left arm up to the ceiling for a nice little twist. And as able, gaze up at your left hand. One more breath. Good. Now you're going to bring your left hand, switch it out with your right. So left hand on the mat below your face, right hand goes up. Two more breaths. Good, now bring right hand back down to the mat. And now I want you to walk both hands over to the right foot. Over towards the right foot. Just a nice side body, back of the leg stretch. Good. And then you'll come back through center to go to the left side. And hold for just a couple breaths. And then you come back to center. Now hands to your hips and slowly rise. Good. And then you're going to point your toes outwards for your goddess pose, second set. Arms are squeezed nice into your cactus shape, shoulder blades squeezing together, and sink down in your seat. Good. Now this time in your goddess pose, I'm going to give you some options. You can stay here and really work this pose, or if you want to advance it a little bit, you can alternate lifting your heels, preparing for sun pose with both heels lifted. And one more time, each heel. Good, then come back. Now you're going to straighten your knees, arms by your sides, and then I want you to toe heel your feet together. So toe heel, walk your feet together. So good for our outer and inner thighs to toe heel walk like that. So I encourage you any chance you get to do that. Then inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Now inhale, halfway lift. Then you're gonna plant your hands on the mat and walk your feet back into a plank position. So you can plank here from your toes or from your knees, totally up to you. So wherever you are today, just making sure that in your plank, as you're holding your plank, we don't want to see any valleys, and we don't want to see any mountains. Okay, so what we really want is that nice, long, flat back. Good. A nice plank for walking. So from my heels to my head should be pretty straight and in one long line. Now you're going to slowly lower yourself all the way down, whether you're on your knees or not, all the way down. Your right cheek rests on the mat. Palms go by your sides, face up. And release the tops of your feet to the mat. Good. Take a couple of breaths. Make any adjustments. Really allow yourself to sink in and relax here. Let's take 3 breaths. Fill up your belly with all that overwhelms you. And then press it all out of that balloon. 1 more breath. Good. Now you're going to take your chin to the center of your mat, and your hands are going to come face down at the lowest point of your rib cage. You want them nice and close to your body. So my hands are touching my body, and then my elbows squeeze back towards one another. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. You're going to press firmly into your feet until your kneecaps lift. And then your next inhale, lift your chest. So lift up, and there's very little weight in your hands. So if you're able to float your hands up off the mat, if you're not, that's okay. Bhujangasana. I apologize. Cobra pose. Bhujangasana. Good. 1 more breath. And then exhale, lower down. Place your left cheek on the mat. Palms by your sides, face up. And again, really just relax every muscle. Make any adjustments as needed when we're in this belly down shavasana here. Really relaxing and resting your muscles. Two more breaths. Good. And now take your chin to the center of the chest of the mat. Press firmly into the tops of your feet, and your hands come to the lowest point of your rib cage once again. Squeeze elbows nice and tight together. And then on your next inhale, you're going to lift your chest. A nice big inhale, lift. See if you can lift just 1 more rib than you did last time. And if it's comfortable for you, take your hands out like airplane wings. Good. If you're here with your airplane wings, see if you can lift your legs up, keeping legs nice and tight together. 2 more breaths. And then lower all the way down, palms face up, right cheek on the mat. Inhale, fill up all that's overwhelming. Exhale, release it all out. Two more breaths. Good. Next, we're going to go into bow pose. I'm going to demonstrate half bow. If you are well versed in bow, feel free to take 2 sets of full bow, or you can come with me for 1 set half bow each side. So next what I want you to do is bend your left knee, and you're gonna grab the top of your foot with your left hand. Then your right hand goes long above your head, and your chin goes to the center of the mat. Now just like that cobra pose and that locust pose we just did, on your inhale, you're gonna lift chest, but this time you're gonna kick into your foot, kick it into your hand, take it away from your hand and your shoulder, away from your body, and lift your knee. So chins to the center, nice big inhale, lift. Good. So your back foot, leg is off the mat, front foot reaching straight forward, or front arm. Good. You kick into your foot. And then exhale, release. Left cheek rests on the mat. Palms by your sides, face up. As best you can, release muscularity, release tension. Two more breaths. And now you bring chin to the center of the mat. You're going to bend your right knee and grab the top of your right foot. Then your left hand goes out long ahead of you. Good. And a nice big inhale, lift your chest and kick into your foot. One more big breath. And then lower down, right cheek rests on the mat, palms by your sides. Really release it all. Feel your belly fill up, pressing against the floor as you inhale. And feel the floor help you press and release all of that air in your balloon out. One more breath here. Good. Next, hands are going to come right underneath your shoulders, and you're going to press yourself into a narrow knee child's pose. So knees together, send your hips back. Hands go forward, head towards the mat, and breathe into your low back. Good, then walk your hands back up towards your feet. Nice. Now sitting up nice and tall, you're going to take your left hand out to the outside of your right thigh and your right hand back behind you for a nice twist here. So keeping the twist coming from the upper body, the upper core and spine. Two more breaths. And then you'll come back to center, and you're going to take your left hand to the opposite side, or to the outside of your left knee. Left hand goes back behind you. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, twist from the core up. And then you come back to center. Now I want you to make your way to a wide leg seat. Toes are flexed up to the ceiling. Good. Then your spine is nice and tall. And you're going to inhale, reach arms up. And exhale, fold forward. A nice, subtle fold to begin. So we're just starting very, very gradually. So stay right here and hold that fold. Toes are flexed. Inhale, lengthen your spine. One more breath, and then you'll see if you can go any deeper into this pose. Big breath in. Nice long spine. And then on your exhale, see if you can walk your hands out a little bit further. Keeping your toes flexed. And a big breath in. Lengthen your spine. If you can, go a little bit deeper. And hold. Two more breaths. Feel the stretch in the inner thighs. Final breath. And then walk your hands back up to center. And now take your right foot to your left inner thigh. Good. And you're going to take your left hand now to the outer ankle, shin, or foot, whatever you can reach. And your left arm's going to go up and over to frame your ear. I'm going to scoot over to this side. So we're in that straddle shape. You're up and over, side bending again. So our armpits and shoulders are really swinging open. Good, both sit bones on the mat. So maybe you're here, that's okay. We just want to work with your limitations and make things challenging for you. Good. Now inhale back up to center and switch your legs. So you're gonna take your right leg out, left foot to thigh. And then you take your right hand to the outer ankle, shin, or foot, left arm up and over to frame. And breathe. Really feel that stretch in the side body. Maybe in the back of the knee, you're feeling a little something. And final breath. Then inhale back up to center. Now send both your legs out long ahead of you. Toes are flexed. Hands are down by your sides, palms face down, and you're gonna sit up nice and tall in your staff pose. So for staff pose, feet are actively flexing towards your face. Almost so much that your heels lift. If your heels don't lift, that's okay, but I just want the toes flexed, really getting that. Legs are as straight as they possibly can be. Staff pose seems like a simple pose, but this is much more complicated. Then you're gonna start to firm into your seat, really sit down and grow your spine nice and tall. Roll shoulder blades down and back, and neck grows nice and tall. And let's take that balloon 3-part breath. Breathe into belly, ribs and chest. Then exhale out, chest, ribs, belly button goes towards your spine. Inhale, fill all the way up. Exhale, release as much air as you can. One more time. Good. Now here, inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Reach for calves, ankles, shins or feet, whatever's accessible. Inhale, grow your spine nice and tall. And then if you can, fold a little deeper on your exhales. Good. Nice stretch for the back of the leg. Feels really good on your low back. If you breathe into low back area. Two more breaths. Good. Now you bring yourself back up to seated. And you're going to plant your feet on the mat, bend your knees. And then hands to the back of your thighs, and you're gonna slowly lower all the way down, really using your abdomen muscles to lower all the way down. So nice, slow, gradual movement, allowing your body to slowly make its way down. Good. Once you get down, keep your feet planted, knees bent. Arms can be in a cactus shape or in a T shape. Good. Then you're going to Inhale, pick your feet up. Exhale, drop your knees to the left, and if you can, gaze right. Now inhale, knees and head go center. Exhale, knees go right, head goes left. Inhale, head and knees to center. Exhale, knees left, head right. And continue on your own. And of course, if the supine twist does not feel good on your neck, to twist your neck the opposite way, you can always look up at the ceiling. 2 more times. Inhale, center. Exhale, final time to the right. Then inhale, center. Good. Now you're going to squeeze your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Feel that nice low back massage as you rock. Good. Then you come back to center. And you're going to pick your head up, curl your toes, squeeze legs, arms, feet, faces furrowed, abs are tight, chest, back, everything squeeze, squeeze, squeezing. And then on your next exhale, release. Everything goes long and wide to your final Shavasana. Palms are face up. Eyes are closed. If you had brought any props, feel free to grab those first and then come back into your Shavasana. Legs and feet wide. Eyes closed. Breathing your natural breath. And allowing any thoughts to drift away. Take a moment to relax your toes and your feet. Allow them to fall where they want. Allow ankles to be loose and relaxed. Calves and shins nice and rested. Knees, thighs, and hamstrings soft and supple. Hips and glutes are relaxed on the mat, sinking in. Belly and low back are nice and soft. Chest is relaxed. Breathing is normal. Shoulders are relaxed and sinking in. Arms begin to feel heavier and heavier. Your neck and head fall where it's comfortable for you. And stay in a nice, soft, relaxed position. And now, I want you to imagine you're walking a nice park path. And as you're walking along this park path, you notice the soft grass on your feet. You smell the dirt and bark from the trees and the surroundings. You see those trees and bushes. You hear the birds singing above you. You feel the warm breeze blow against your skin. You feel very relaxed and peaceful. You continue walking this park path, and you notice that it goes off into the woods, a nice little hidden path. You wander down that path, And as you're wandering, you're feeling that moist, wet grass on your feet. You are seeing more beautiful flowers and bushes on this path. You can hear squirrels and rabbits rustling in the trees and bushes around you. And now you see all the vibrant, beautiful greens and browns of the plants surrounding you. And as you continue walking down this hidden path, you hear the sound of rushing water ahead of you. You continue to follow the rushing water down the path. The water gets louder and louder with every step you take, until you come to a clearing and you find a waterfall right there for you. It's a hot summer day and you're sweating, so you decide you're going to go under at the waterfall. You make your way so that you can position yourself to be directly underneath that waterfall. And every time you breathe in, you feel a sense of calm and peacefulness. You feel a sense of presence. You know you are where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there. And as the water cascades down upon you, you feel yourself washing away all stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. It's all being washed away in this nice waterfall. As you breathe in, you gather any non-serving thoughts, any non-serving intentions, and you release those. You stay here under the waterfall with your eyes closed and your arms open, just drinking in the warmth of the water and the peace of it washing all worries away. And now you'll begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side. And if it feels good, you can take a nice good morning stretch. Arms overhead, stretch your full body. And then whenever you're ready, no sooner, roll onto one side and hug your knees in. Take a moment to appreciate your body, appreciate your mind for all that it's gotten you throughout your life. Take a moment to remember that any challenges you've been through before have worked out. So know that anything you're going through right now is not permanent. It too shall pass. And whenever you're ready, you'll prop yourself to a comfortable seat with eyes closed as able. Then you'll inhale, arms overhead, palms meet. And now reverse your palms face out. And with intention, press the air around you away. You're moving through that mud, moving through the wet cement, pressing out all worry, all stress, all anxiety, all that overwhelms. There is not room for that in your space. Your space is filled of positivity and love. And if you like, hands can come to Heart Center. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have the most wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you, keep creating Calm Tribe. I really appreciate that. I did just want to take a moment to talk about these non-serving thoughts. So in yoga, you will hear us say that a lot. Us as yoga teachers, we will say, release those non-serving thoughts. So non-serving thoughts are going to be any thought that is either negative self-talk or self-critical. It's going to be those thoughts that eat you up with worry and anger. So those are the thoughts we want to allow ourselves